Hi LinkedIn, happy Wednesday, hope you're well. I've come on here now because I'm going to, just to say, in the next, over the next 5, 6, 7 weeks, I'm going to start sharing some videos that I'm going to make. And the whole purpose of these is to help any creative in our industry. And not only that, it'll get me out of sitting behind a desk all day, because I've started getting back problems. I've got a bad habit of not getting up and going for walks or resting. So not only will it get me out and help me health-wise, the whole point of this, the main thing here, is I want to help as many creatives as I can. I'm going to call it walking and talking. Walks and talks on a Wednesday. I was trying to find some catchy title. The Wednesdays walks and talks, or walking and talking. I would have started last week, but it was peeing down with rain, so I'm going to try and make this opportunity, because it's not raining, it's not necessarily sunny, but it's still quite nice. And actually I'm going to try and do different walks each time. This one it's on the road I'm on, I'm living in, so it may be by the time I get to the bottom I'm going to still be talking and coming back. Now, most of you on here know that I was a creative for over 30 years, an art director and a creative director. And then for some unknown reason, I made the move to what I call, it wasn't obviously the joke, but I made the move to what I call the dark side. And I'm now in recruitment. It's probably an irony, not lost on many of my friends in this industry, as most of the work come direct. And although I know a lot of recruiters, and I did get a little bit of work from them, most of it come just going direct. But what I want to share here is what I've learned now as being a recruiter. I've been doing it about 18 months now. It's been it's full of ups and downs, highs and lows, very frustrating, as you can imagine. I've actually got I've got a bit of sympathy now for recruiters, would you believe? And maybe I'll share them as well. But the whole purpose of these videos is to help as many creatives as I can. It's aimed at creatives, but if you're an account hand or a strategist and it helps you in any way, fantastic. But my main purpose here is to help as many creatives as I can. It's very tough, as we know, out there at the moment. It has been for a while, still is. We still hope it improves. And that is one of the reasons I want to help, because I know a lot of you are still struggling. And I also know you're struggling from a mental health point of view, and I'm going to cover that as well, because, you know, I think what will help you guys here is knowing that I've been on your side. So I'm just looking down there, I've come to a dead end, so I'm going to walk back. I've been exactly where you are. I've been in a position where I'm not working, wondering where that work's coming from, how it affects you mentally, those voices in the head, and I'm going to cover that as well. And actually a lot of the conversations I have now with creators, we do talk about that. And as you can imagine, I mean, I'm probably speaking most days with at least one creative from the industry who's got in touch with me, knowing I'm now doing this. And a lot of times that comes up is mental health, how they're feeling, the voices in the head, what they're telling themselves. I'm going to touch on that, because I've been there and I've felt that, I've gone through that. So I'm just going to go through, maybe I've just got a little list here of what I'm going to try and be covering. Like I say, I think it's probably going to be 6 or 7 videos, and I'm going to end with questions from you guys. So over the next few weeks, there might be questions that you can send me, and I'm going to try and do that at the end. But I've got a sort of little list of what I want to cover. And in a nutshell, so the first one, which is probably the most obvious one and the most important, is portfolios. I've seen so many mistakes made by you guys sending in your portfolios. So I'm going to talk about mistakes made, and I'm actually going to try and give as many tips as I can to make it as easy for you and improve your chances of getting a role. Now that might be in one video, possibly 2, but I'll probably do it in one. Also, job applications. Again, a load of mistakes being made. Things I see and I look at it and I think you haven't really give it a lot of thought. I think the bane of any recruiters out there now is LinkedIn Easy Apply. I did it myself. Sometimes it's almost like too easy to apply for a role, and often it's not really the role you really want, because if it was, you'd probably go into a bit more detail, maybe a cover letter. So I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes you're making, and again give you some tips on how to improve that and improve your chances maybe of actually getting that role. I've just said a bit earlier, and I'm going to talk about mental health. It's really important here. and I will be talking from my own experience as well, and I'll be, you know, the conversations I've been having with a lot of you guys as well. So I am going to cover that because it's really important, especially in these times now, because it still is tough out there. Yeah, one of the words that comes up a lot obviously is ghosting, and I'm going to talk about that as well, and how recruiters, or how I deal with it. And it's important to point out here is I'm only going to be talking from my experience. Right, I've only been recruiting 18 months. As I said, I was a creative for over 30 years, but all of my experience that I'm bringing to the table now, I can talk about it from my own experience. This isn't going to be a Google Docs. It's not going to be someone passing me a piece of paper telling me this is what you should be doing. I'm going to tell you from my own experience, right? So when we talk about ghosting or rejection, I'm going to tell you the process I go through and how I make it work. Now, it might, like I say, a lot of this, some of you may not agree with, but I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you from as an ex-creative and now a recruiter. So we'll talk about the ghosting and rejection, etc. I'm also going to do one, might be a little bit controversial, some of you might get a bit peed off, but I'm going to do one about I call it accountability, responsibility. You know, recently I see a lot of people blaming recruiters for the position they're in. Now, I'm not saying that you don't get some bad services from recruiters, right? But at the end of the day, we are all accountable for our own actions and our own positions. So I'm going to do one on that. And like I say, it might split the audience. Some might agree and some might not. But again, all of this is going to come from my experience and my heart and what I believe. Doesn't mean to say I'm right. Doesn't mean to say I'm wrong. Just my opinion. And then I'm going to finish with some answers. Like, it might be over the next 4 or 5 weeks you start sending me in questions, or it might be I do something in a few weeks' time where I'll get you to do it all in one go. But however I get it, the idea would be to pick up some questions from you that maybe I haven't covered. And ideally, I'll try and answer as many as I can. It might be in one video session, or it might be you send me questions that I think, oh, actually, I can do a video on each one. So that's about it, guys. I'm actually nearly getting to the end of this road. I'm probably going to do a different walk next time. But I just wanted to come on here to tell you what I'm aiming to do. And like I say, the main thing here is to be helping as many creatives as I can, especially in these tough times right now. And I will be talking from my own experience as a creative and now a recruiter after 18 months. So I'm going to go. Please look out for this. I'm going to aim to do it on a Wednesday, and we call them Wednesdays walks and talks, or walking and talking. Like I say, it gets me out of my home office, stretch my legs, because I was starting to get back problems, so it's going to help me. But more importantly, this is all about helping you guys out there, and ideally helping you get roles or jobs that are about by, you know, looking at how you're doing it, what you're doing it, the time you're putting in. Any tips I can give you, I will, and any mistakes I can point out, I will. So enough of me now. That's probably about 5 or 6 minutes of me talking. Oh, by the way, these videos may vary in length. Some of them might be quite quick, short, sharp, and to the point, a couple of minutes long, and others might be 5, 10, 15 minutes. They're not going to be massively long because I don't want to bore the pants off of you guys. I'm trying to keep them short and sharp. And if I do that, then I can do this weekly. So ideally, we build up and maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 videos you can always go back to if you need be. Anyway, have a happy Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And look out for me next week. See you soon. Bye.